cafe anyway. Look at this.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And just suddenly out of nowhere, it starts getting really, 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 really hot. What's that about? It's episode 2474.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
2474. The last podcast, I had a podcast picture that you can see me at MikesDailyPodcast.com. If you prefer, you can go there and see it. And that's where I've got other podcast pictures that are pretty fair that you can share. Okay, that's it. What happened to Duncan Sheik?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
How did that song go? I am still breathing.
Mike's
What was all the breathing
Daily
songs in the 90s?
Podcast.
There was the Faith Hill song, the Michelle Branch song. She just got into trouble recently. She got into trouble. I don't know. So it was something like a divorce. Maybe that was the trouble I was thinking of. Is that it? Oh my gosh. As soon as it filed for divorce, it popped right up. As soon as I typed Michelle Branch files for divorce from Patrick Carney, the great-great-grandson of Art Carney. No? Is it? Well, that would be interesting if that's true. I guess there's so many times I tell people stories like, hey, did you hear the blah, blah, blah? And they're like, oh, yeah, and did you know da, 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 da. So you people lead to have more knowledge than you lead on, basically. But Michelle Branch filed for divorce from Patrick Carney a day after announcing their separation. The date of separation is listed as August 11th, the same day that Michelle Branch claimed online that Carney was cheating, and she was arrested for slapping him. Michelle Branch's filing claimed the parties are no longer capable of resuming their marital relationship and living together as husband and wife.
And here's today's podcast picture.
So irreconcilable differences. 'Cause I am barely breathing and I can't find the air. No one's receiving, imagining you care. Podcast picture today is going to be fantastic and probably something I took recently. So see it at MikesDailyPodcast.com. I am not sure what, maybe it's something my lovely lady friend took. But yes, we just got back from a quick walk. And it is getting darker now. That's a bummer. It's getting hotter now. That's a bummer. And, oh, the late great Basil the Boxer. He would have been out there walking with me. Everybody was walking dogs today. Everybody, everywhere I looked, there was dog walkers. And that's great. People getting out and walking around. Oh, they have 2 kids, by the way. Michelle Branch and Art Carney, Patrick Carney. Branch was arrested for misdemeanor domestic assault early on the morning of August 11th. She was in Nashville. After Branch announced her split from Carney, police had been called about 2 a.m. in court documents. Branch admitted she slapped Carney 1 to 2 times, and Carney did not sustain visible injuries. Branch tweeted claiming that Carney cheated on her with his manager around 1:30 a.m. Branch was released from custody so that she could breastfeed her 6-month-old child, and the bail was set at $1,000. So there you go. That's the exciting news today. I wish her well, Michelle Branch. What were some of her other colossal hits? She had All I Wanted Was Somebody to Care. And the one, the top songs, let's see. Remember her band, The Wreckers? Leave the pieces when you're gone. Yeah, she did have a song called Breathe. Goodbye to You. Are You Happy Now? What was that one? With Santana. Little bit of this, little bit of that. And soon to that. I believe she was discovered by Madonna years ago. It was on Madonna's label, her Maverick label. And she won a Grammy Award for Best Pop Collaboration for The Game of Love. A little bit of this, a little bit of that Santana song. So this is very important news. And I'm not going to go into Trump complaining about how his passports were taken. Because pretty soon it's going to be... apparently, somebody told me I got to get a passport by the end of the year, or very, very soon, because soon you'll need to have the real ID to get a passport. I don't know, this whole real ID thing, that's getting very ominous, isn't it? I don't know. No one is even talking about it these days, but everybody is apparently, and that's going to be the word for today's show, is apparently. Real ID requirements across the U.S. Travelers will need more than a standard driver's license to be able to fly within the United States. Yes, the Transportation Security Administration requires what's known as Real IDs or Enhanced IDs. Real IDs look like a standard ID card, but they're marked with a star or an American flag in the corner. There was a commission, and the commission came up with rules and guidelines, and that is when the Real ID began. Oh, real quick, that story about Michelle Branch came from vulture.com. So you know it's true. Real IDs will be required in place of driver's license to board domestic flights and to enter some federal buildings and military bases. And for those attempting to fly domestically, or a passport or other TSA-approved method of identification will be accepted past the May 23rd deadline.
Anyway.
As we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley.
This is interesting.
Wow, this is interesting.
Yeah, so let's see here. May 23rd. And is that already happening now? Congress passed the law back in 2005 in order to improve airport security after 9/11. And there, let's see, outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth. Yeah, so May 3rd, 2023 is when that deadline is. And apparently you can find out more at DMV, at your DMV website for your state. Oh, look who's here. Hello, Mike Matthews at Chely Shoehart gift shop supervisor. I have Real IDs inside the gift shop. Inside of snow globes. Uh-huh. Because everything you sell basically has a snow globe involved in some way. That's right, Mike Matthews. What was my name? Mike Matthews. Mike Matthews is my name. That's what I said, Mike Matthews. Uh-huh. Look who else is here. Hello, Mike. This is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Mike, I don't believe in real IDs. I'm just not going to fly anymore. Well, there's one solution to it. Yeah. Okay. So that's interesting. I thought it was a Trump thing that we were supposed to get real IDs, but apparently this goes back a ways. Well, and how about one other story? How about this fascinating little tidbit of knowledge and a bit of advice? I try to give a little advice in every show or something interesting, something to that effect, something. This is how to handle kids kicking your airline seat, according to the Condé Nast Traveler. There are some circumstances in which a passenger should ask a flight attendant to intervene. If you're seated near a child and their actions are disturbing you and your comfort, it's best to try and handle the situation before getting others involved. Often a bit of kindness goes a long way. Distraction seems to be a reliable method to calming a boisterous child, For example, offering a child-friendly toy. You could give them your keys to jangle. But wait a minute. Do people still have keys? So many people have just the fobs or whatever that just start the car as soon as you get close to it. Maybe give them a paper airplane, so they can jab their eyes with it, and that's not good. Or they might try and eat it. Or just offering support to beleaguered parents can help. Do you need help? Something like that. Sometimes, however, even the most valiant efforts of a fellow passenger to soothe a child fall short, and that could be the time to flag down a member of the cabin crew. So that's the flight attendant that they were talking to, Condé Nast Traveler, said, if they're trying to calm the child down, I'm going to disregard the complaints from the passengers around them. They're trying. Some attendants feel the best approach is to stop by their row and ask, is there anything I can get for you? Figuring it sent enough of a signal that whatever was happening was starting to disrupt others. But if they're not acting like responsible parents and showing a disregard for the disruption their kids are causing, sometimes flight attendants will tell the kids to stop and hope that's enough of a sign to the parents to start telling the kids to behave. So there you go. More than you ever wanted to know. That used to really... It's funny, the older I get, the more it doesn't bother me. Some people, it's the exact opposite. But when I was younger, kids making noises on planes, I'm like, oh, no. But now I'm like, oh, what's going on? What's that little personality? What's going on over there? I find it curious and interesting. But then again, I don't fly much. I'm more worried about the COVID thing, because it seems like anybody getting on a plane these days tend to get COVID. But I don't know. But it's just maybe just the people I know. Okay, you know what it's time for? It's time for the New Tunes Feud. It's time to play a song and find out. I'm going to play two songs. You tell me which one you like better. These are songs people are sending to me at MikesDailyPodcast at gmail.com. This person writes, this is a lively song about reflecting on a past version of oneself as if peering through a window in time and reliving moments from a previous life. Some of these memories are ones that we may not be proud of during times when we resisted the pressure of society and its expectations to exist in a sort of limbo between adolescence and adulthood rather. But they are a part of us nonetheless. Alrighty. This is called Live Again. And it's not Jane's Addiction. It's Jane's Party. Is that... Wait a minute. This is it, I think. Oh, you know what? I just realized something. You're probably not hearing this because I'm playing it through the speakers. I just got... somebody donated a speaker to me. They heard that I had blown one of my speakers and said, hey, you want... So now I've got that. That was... You were hearing some of that here at Cafe Anyway outside. Okay, here we go. Live Again. Jane's Party. That's the name of that one. All right, do you like that one? Or, let's see, we got one here. We did the mono whales, right? We did that on a recent podcast. Wait, but I don't think we did this song. Okay. So we had a mono whales song on a recent podcast, but this is a different one, and it's called... You got the best of me. Make no apologies to that. Stuck in the middle. Okay, so which one did you like better? Jane's Party or Mono Whales? I like the name Mono Whales better, but call me 336MM Daily. 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews. Daily as in what this podcast tries to be and has been for a couple days.
Call now 336MM.
Daily.
or you can email me. But whatever you do, keep breathing. Keep breathing. That's another group. I don't know if that was from the 90s or early O's, but yeah, lots of breathing songs. All right, so either way, you can contact me, and with more ways to contact me, it's A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!